Great. It looks like most people are here. Um, so we can kind of just jump into it. I might just give a little introduction to Pandion again, as usual. I usually introduce these workshops with a little introduction for anybody who's new here. I'm the executive director for Pandion Music Foundation, and NIE is here as well, our program director. Um, and Pandion is a 501c3 nonprofit that provides community and skill building opportunities for music creators in LA and beyond to cultivate long lasting lives in music. And through online and in person workshops, wellness support, and scholarship based mentorship programs, PMF fosters a community where creators from diverse backgrounds and identities can have the support tools and resilience they need to keep making music in an ever evolving industry. So this year, beginning in 2025, we're really focusing in on community, and that's hence this first community conversation session we're having today. Um, but in a challenging industry, I think it's really important to come together as a community of musicians, fellow musicians, and share our feelings about the industry and shared experiences, especially. Is really nice to have that kind of community. So please feel free to share any thoughts or feelings you have today about your own journey in music. I'm sure there are many other people who could relate to your experiences as well, and it would be nice to have conversations about that. And Jared is going to be talking today about how to invest in your elevation, which is very cool theme for the first community conversation session today. And Jared is an independent music creative himself based in Los Angeles who specializes in building community and mentorship. And he loves volunteering with various organizations to support positive initiatives. And we've been so lucky to have Jared a part of this community since the very beginning. So thank you for being here, Jared, today with us.
Thank you for having me. I love what everybody is doing in the camp for Pandion, all women ran, and I love to support that. Even though I'm a male, I still love to support
Mhm.
the women that's doing their thing. So glad to be here, and thank you for opening this opportunity up for the community. So that's why I'm here because I've seen you guys' stuff, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is great. I gotta be a part of this. I gotta help and see where I can add my little flavor into it. So thank you for opening that
Awesome.
up for us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah, I was gonna say go ahead and get started and and again, everyone feel free to pop in the chat if you have something to say, raise your hand, or just unmute yourself if you want to join in the conversation. So, Jared, you can take it away.
okay, cool. I'll try to keep my eye on the chat in case, but if not, I guess we can see if the hand raising thing works.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be doing the slideshow for me, so we can be more relevant. So if you have any questions, definitely ask. This is not only for music, but it's based on a music foundation. But definitely, this is about whatever career development that you're going into, because perspective is everything. And I have a friend of mine that's on the call. Or I can tell you, I've been to non-music events and had, created a relationship that came into a business relationship as well, and made some fun happen and made some funds. So we'll talk about that later. We can start with the first slide, or the second slide, because the first one is just the introduction, how to invest in your elevation. So these are some things, according to me, like everything that I'm getting ready to say is my experience. It's definitely not going to be the same for everybody, but this is going to be something that you can look into and see how it works for you. And if you have any questions of how it can relate to you, then definitely let's open that up. So these are a few things that you need to have. Intelligence, first of all, that's the ability to acquire and apply knowledge or skills. And then customer service is a big thing. Everybody's probably went out to eat or to a movie theater before. And then customer service either made you enjoy the that event or not enjoy it. So that's being able to support and provide an enjoyable experience to your consumer. And then belief, that's the trust or confidence in something that exists. So whether you think like, hey, I want to do this or I want to go and accomplish this, you have to believe that you want to do it before you can even, walk to it and say it didn't work. And then time, measurement, scale, past, present, and future. For me, I always tell people to give yourself at least 2 years of going hard, doing research, going to conferences, online or in person if you can. And then just doing different things, listening to podcasts that has nothing to do with your field, going to events that may not have anything to do with your field. And I put hashtag 20 now because a lot of people talking about, oh, 2019 gonna be my year, 2020 gonna be my year. And then what happened in 2020? A lot of people didn't do good because things happened. But a lot of people did do well. And I want to say 2020 now or 20 now is because it's going to be however, we're here on this earth to do our thing. So it's not going to be 1 year. It's a lifestyle. It's actually a life thing and it's a legacy thing. So I just say 20 now. So you don't have to worry about what year you did good or what year you didn't do good. Okay. Next slide, please. So my personal elevation. Um, I went to a GMS, which is short for the Guild of Music Supervisors, for those who are in sync licensing. So I went to a panel and a few years ago and connected with a supervisor, and that's because I like to connect with people that look like I should know them. If you don't look like I should know you, then I'm probably not going to talk to you because we don't. I don't want just an opportunity. I want something I can build synergy with. I want somebody I can relate to and have fun with and things of that nature. So I connected with one of the supervisors. I was on the panel, walked her to the car. And then I shot her a DM and she's like, you got to do a consultation. I'm not going to talk to you and give you no game for free. And I was like, oh, excuse me. Booked the consultation. I invested in my elevation. That's one-on-one time. That's a cheat code for everybody because you get that actual time to talk about business. You get that time to talk about where they went to college or they dropped out or who's their favorite artist influence, where they from, where they like to travel to. You get that one-on-one time without being interrupted by other people because it's a crowd of people around you. So sometimes you got to pay that $100 or $200 for that 30 minutes or an hour to build that relationship with that person that you want to get with. And so fast forward, I posted a video on Instagram from my home studio. I put home studio in underline because if you are in music, it's the best thing to have. So you don't have to be like, oh, I got to wait to book a studio or I got to wait to go get the files. No, it's right there at the crib. You know what I'm saying? So you can have easier access to get the business done and get the resources done. So I received a DM from this supervisor. She's like, "Why you didn't send me no beats?" And I'm like, "Wait, what? Is a supervisor asking me why I didn't send no beats? Like this is crazy. Like this is a dream come true." So I'm like, "All right, bet. Like what's up?" So I made sure I had the type of records that they actually wanted because they actually sing as well. And we ended up doing a few records. We collaborated together. She had a relationship with a sync agent. That sync agent pitched that song, and that's how I got my first placement on Ava DuVernay's Chairs Today on Oprah's Winfrey's network. So that all came from me going out, seeing somebody that I like, paying for a consultation, building that relationship, and then posting on IG because people want to see what you're doing, and then taking it from there and making it happen. So that's just my experience. It might happen differently for everybody else, but give yourself some time, put yourself out there to make it happen. All right, can we go to the next slide? So the keys, notable actions that will set you apart. So your research. My three main ones are Google, LinkedIn, and Instagram. If you follow me on either one, I'm always posting something or following, connecting with people. And I only connect with people who have a profile picture up there and they actually are posting things because some people just have a profile and I'm like, I don't know who you are. You could be a bot. You could be trying to get in my account. I don't know you. So make sure you're that person who has your profile up there. If you don't like, your picture, I don't know how to, you got to figure out how to deal with that. But people want to know it's you. People want to know it's a real person. Um, Attending and connect. So after you attend a conference like right now, or we're on a workshop, it's online. There's people here, and whoever is new, if you were to follow up, hit me up and be like, hey, this is just so and so from the Pandion Music Foundation. So I can know, okay, cool. I met you at so and so, so and so. So I can have a connection. And then maybe if I look at the DM 3 years from now, I'm like, where did I meet this person at? Like, oh, I met you at the da 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 da. All right, cool. So we have a history, a background of where we met. And so now I can like pinpoint. Follow up and add value. Connect and bring a solution to a gap. My favorite thing is I like to door knock and do like unsolicited things. I don't like, oh, go online, send us an email. I do not like that. I'm a classic person. I'm gonna pull up to your office and say, hello, can I talk to whoever's in the office that has anything to do with events or workshops? I love doing that. My last one that I did was last week. I was early for this event, went into this resource center, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? My name is Jared. I do music production for TV and licensing, and I also do mentorship. And I want to see if there's any opportunities to do something with the youth that he's there. And they were like, what? Hold on, let me connect you with the COO. And then so I'm like, oh. So they put me on a chain email with them. We set up a meeting the next day, and I'm up in the office, and we're talking about, how they want me to be included in their programming. And I'm just like, I didn't, I didn't plan that out, but I came to them. I saw an opportunity where I thought I can be a resource and value, and they also saw the value in me as well. So that's another thing is it's like that emotional intelligence. Like, who are you talking to? What do they need? What are they missing? Fill that gap. Bring that solution if they don't have it. So I'm always looking forward to like, how can I see what they're missing and how can I help with that? All right. Can we hit the next? Thank you very much. I want it, so I have to go for it. That's with anything. If you want to go to school and take a class and get, a certification or a degree, if you want it, you have to do the things that you probably don't want to do. People that go to the gym, they probably don't want to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning and go, drive and go to the gym. But once you're there and you start to see those results, it hit different. I don't go to the gym, but it's just for anybody who does go to the gym, you understand what that's like. Um, if whatever you want, you got to put the time in for it. And if you don't get it, you can't say that it didn't work out if you didn't put the time in. So, first of all, I like to talk about the relationships. So, meeting people in different areas and sharing similar interests with each other. How I was able to create a jingle for Health Center. My friend, I don't know, she wanted me to say her name on. Okay, so Dominique Hamlet, she's on right now. I went to a Culver City event that had nothing to do with music, and we're ending the event. We're getting ready to walk out, and I look at her. She look at me. I'm like, "Hey, what's up? What's going on?" We start talking. She's like, "Oh, I'm in the health, you know," and I'm like, "I ain't got nothing to do with no health stuff," but I'm like, "I do music. You seem cool. We chatting. Let's just connect." So later on, she's like, "Oh yeah, you know what? You do music. Let's do. Can you want to do a jingle for my company?" I'm like, "Wait, what? Of course, yeah, let's do it." Fast forward, I come up to the office, did a little piano thing, and made a jingle. It didn't sound like that, but I made a jingle and actually got her out of retirement to sing on the joint. And we went to the radio station and recorded a voiceover, and we did the jingle. They put it on the radio, and we got our a commercial on KJLH in LA or Inglewood rather. So that had nothing to do with a music conference. So go somewhere else, meet people, create an opportunity. So publicly, thank you, Dominique. Relationships. Okay, that's number one. Number two, building the value in yourself so people feel comfortable working with you. People, I don't know if you've heard this, but people work with people they like. Um, if you are a rich person and somebody's coming up to you, you're gonna be like, "Yo, who are you and what do you want from me?" You shouldn't be trying to say yes to everybody because everybody doesn't want your well-being. So therefore, you do have to have some type of boundaries, some type of standards, and understand that the people that you're working with has value because you also have value. And if you don't know you have value, let's talk after this. I'm sure everyone in here has some type of value that you can implement and incorporate to somebody or some company. So figure out how you can be an asset to someone else or become a resource. Sponsorships, organizations want to see what you have done or what you can do before making decisions for them. So, what do you have to offer? Do you have a website? Do you have a sizzle reel? Sizzle reel meaning EPK, meaning electronic press kit, showcasing the work that you've done. So, if that's construction and you've seen like the before and the after joints, and they like, yo, why would I want to work with you? How do I know you good? They want to see the work that you can do from before to after, that you can actually do that for them. A lot of people here is for music, so they want to see the music that you've done. What companies have you worked with? What courses have you taken? They want to know these things. Um, and then have a brand. What brand do you have? That's really big. Um, James Guardian, he's on here. He knows exactly what I'm talking about with having a brand. People want to come to you for something. They want to know, what am I coming to you for? So his records are like energetic. Like he does a lot of records, but a lot of the joints that I've heard is like that four on the floor, energetic party. Let's have a good time. Let's forget about these troubles. Let's go have a good time. I'm gonna come to James to get those records. And so that's his brand as far as I know. So I was like, I heard songs and I'm like, bro, if I was a agent, I would sing this joint right now. So you want to post things, like I said earlier, I posted some things and got opportunities. You want to post what you're working on because people are watching you. You never know what they need. You never know what they're working on. And then growth. If you have not grown from 2023 to 2024 to 2025, something is not working. We need to talk. We have to grow every year. Something has to elevate. Trajectory has to matter. If not, there's something that you're not doing. A lot of people say, yeah, I got an idea from 2020. Where's that? Let that, you got to do something. Holding on to that song that was dope, or holding on to those songs on your hard drive. Let those songs go. Submit them somewhere, put them on somebody's library, and try to see what you can get out of it. And then data and finances. Those sponsorships and those companies want to see the data. Like, what does that mean? Okay, cool. Where did you start from? What um, demographics? What are the analytics? What are the numbers? And then how much money are you making, or how much did you spend? How much do you need from us? And why should we give it to you? Yeah, and I put those songs out there. Make room for new ideas. That's exactly right. Get that old stuff out so you can get that new stuff in. All right, let's hit that next slide. So volunteering. Oh my goodness. Volunteering. I do a lot of that personally. I don't know what everybody's timeline is like and how much time they have to incorporate to volunteering at different events or organizations. I'm in a few different high schools, as a matter of fact. Um, I had a meeting today randomly because I had followed up with a counselor from a high school out here, and she was like, let me get you in touch with this guy, blah, blah. So I call, and he's like, yo, um, we love what you're doing. Can we have you at all these three schools for career day? And I'm like, of course. Like, what are we doing? It's like, yeah, we need a speaker. And I'm like, bro, let's go. So he's like, I'm so glad you called me. We've been looking for somebody to speak on music because the kids been wanting to do music. So I just happened to reach out and just go and do something because I love to volunteer at different schools. And then don't forget, we have to get paid as independent creators. So at some point, I'm gonna do those career days and things of that nature, but I'm gonna also turn back around and be like, hey, do you have any paid opportunities? A lot of times, these schools have funds that sometimes they may know of or may not know of, and it can be allotted to something that you may know how to do and become an independent contractor and get paid as a vendor. So a lot of people don't know that. So I always like to volunteer my time first to see what the atmosphere is like. And then after that, I'm like, okay, cool. This was great. How can I turn this into a paid opportunity? Because the money is there. So you want to make sure you can turn volunteering time into some bread. Okay. So your perspective changes. That's what happens when you volunteer. So whether you're a mentee or a mentor, your perspective changes. Like you go in thinking it's one thing and you're going to do one thing, but it ends up coming out as another thing. Um, a lot of people think that I'm giving my time to this. If you look at it that way, don't do it. But if you have something to help and share and give to others, please do that. A lot of people are looking for somebody else to talk to. We never know what anybody is dealing with, especially high school kids. Um, with this terrain that we're dealing with now, and this is global. It's not even just LA, but a lot of the high school kids are dealing with a lot of things, and you never know. You can be that person that comes into their life and help them develop a different thought process, a different reason why they do want to go to college or don't go to college or travel more. And that's something that people should do is travel. Um, Great opportunities for learning. You get to learn about other people, and then for yourself as well. Like, oh, I didn't know I like this. I didn't know I didn't like this. And so you get to definitely get different strategies of how your mindset changes, and over time you'll see the growth and the challenges that you may have dealt with and how you overcame them. It also opens up room for paid positions, like I said earlier. I was volunteering at this youth mentor connection center, and somebody walks to their door. We ended up talking. Something told me to put my first and last name. I was like, I'm gonna put Jared Oluwa on my "Hello, my name is" sticker right here. And she's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And like, I don't know, what are you doing here? So we both volunteering. She ends up being an executive at CBS Viacom, and she's like, "Hey, are you still doing music? I got an opportunity for you." So from volunteering, I met her and ended up doing some music with their library to get paid and get placements on TV because I volunteered. Didn't know that that was going to happen. Didn't think that was going to happen, but that's what happened. So is it going to be the same way for you? Maybe not, but volunteer though. You never know like what happened. So if you put yourself in that position to understand what could happen, then there it is. Give yourself the opportunity to do so. And it also allows you to build community and provide benefits. So everybody here does something different. Um, Sayako, where are you? Sayako, you're overseas right now.
Yes, I'm in Australia at the moment, but because
Awesome.
my parents is in Japan, and so sometimes I'm just trying to be there.
So if anybody wanted to travel somewhere, Sayako is somewhere. And she's like, I can go over here. I do. She also plays piano too, as well. And she does instruments. She plays some good music. Put you on the spot real quick. Um, but like building community and different things like that. And so you never know what that can do to help somebody because community and relationships are everything. And I am somebody who can really tell you like how that actually works, and it's how it's benefited me for sure. Supporting others can result in self growth, and just people would be like, "Hey, I appreciate you for doing this. I had this other opportunity, or I want to introduce you to somebody." And you just never know where it can go, and how things can happen. Um, yeah, I don't want to go too much into it. I do want to leave time for questions for sure. I hope y'all have a lot of questions. Let's see what the next slide is looking like. Oh, it looks like the end. That's what it looks like. So, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn and Instagram, Jared Alou on all platforms. Also, like I mentioned earlier, send me a DM along with the connection or follow. So if you're on Instagram, this is a real good plug to use. Don't just follow somebody. It's not just for me. So whoever you meet up with. But if you go on LinkedIn, connect. And when you connect, send a message along with that connection. Because some people, you'll follow them, they might not follow you back, but if you send a connection, they'll get that notification, and then they'll also get that message in their inbox, and then that's how you can start a history or a thread of relationship talking, or whatever you want to call it. So if you met them somewhere, or you were in a chat room in Pandion Music Foundation or something like that, and it was like, hey, I saw you in the chat, I wanted to connect with you or something like that, let them know where you met them from. 12 Notes to Sing. I got an ebook. I don't really like it, but I put it up there anyways. And that's a testament to you all too. Like, hey, if you have a song, if you have a book, if you have a journal, if you have a product that you want to put out, put the product out and then do another one. If that one's not good enough, do another one and you know what I mean? You get better. Like, and you're supposed to see that growth over time. If you keep doing something, you're gonna get good and you're gonna get better. And that's what stops a lot of people from actually putting out one product because they want it to be so good and perfect right now. So, do the whack thing and then get better and see the growth happen. And have fun and enjoy the journey. I'm really big on just having fun. And just having, yeah, I'm really big on having fun. And I think I have a phrase that I made actually. It's called turning fun into funds. And so that's what I want to do with my life, my lifestyle, whatever that means. Whether I'm traveling, where I'm going to an event, I want to have fun. Somehow turn that into funds, and then I'll be able to do more for myself and do more for others once I have more money, right? So thank you, Pandion Music Foundation, and everybody who's attending. It is 3:30 here in LA, so this is great. I wanted to leave 30 minutes for any questions or anything of that nature. So we can get any questions or topics started.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jared. You're like a treasure trove of inspiration, honestly. It's just so great to listen to you. I
I
feel like
appreciate it.
It's really nice because, you know, in the like as fellow musician, I think it sometimes you're like in the grind and it's easy to get kind of like narrow-minded about your own journey and like what your goals are and if you're not reaching certain milestones at certain times that you have and then seeing other people doing it too and achieving things and moving forward and progressing, it's very inspiring and it reminds you like, okay, you just got to keep going. You just got to
Yeah.
keep getting out there, keep doing it. Like it's working for other people. It can work for me too. And I think it's just really nice to have these conversations to because I think it can get challenging sometimes. So it's nice to just be reminded like you just have to keep going, especially like nowadays when there's just so much music out there and it is oversaturated in many ways that you that's the only way you can kind of like break through the noise of everything is just keep finding those opportunities and putting yourself out there. And I feel like you are just like the pinnacle of that. You just do always do that. And it's just so great to see that. Um,
I appreciate it for real.
yeah, I
Thank
mean, I
you.
love all your story. You've got so many stories of like you just went to the event, you met people, and that like that was just the you know the domino effect of so many other things happening for you, which is it's like if you hadn't gone to that event, if you were at home just like, nah, I'll wait till next year or something, none of that would have happened. So
Yeah,
yeah,
facts.
it's
That's
so great.
facts. Yeah, I've been to so many conferences the last year and, volunteered at a bunch of them as well. A lot of you have been there that's on this call. Q, I see you. I seen you in LA and in Atlanta. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yo, you got to fly and go somewhere sometime. If you can't do it at the home, wherever you're at, sometimes you got to get out and get on the plane.
So
uh,
great.
okay, so we have a question. Robbie, what has been your biggest challenge in your journey into sync and how did you start? My biggest challenge, I would say the business aspect and just learning how I may have missed a lot of opportunities by not implementing like my metadata in a lot of the tracks. And then for anyone who doesn't know what metadata is, it's actually the information that goes inside of an MP3 or sometimes an AIF file. And that might be things like your name, your email, your phone number, the BPM of the track. If you want to get spicy, what's the key of the track? Um, and you want to think about it like, what if a DJ is mixing your record and with an artist and they want to know like, okay, what tempo is it and in what key is it? If you have that in there, they can match that with the song that's coming up. You know what I mean? So people don't think about it that way. So this is why I like to be like, let me give my perspective on why it's important. But it's another way for you to get discovered. So they have platforms like disco.ac, where it's one of the biggest platforms to get a music supervisor or sync agent to find your music and go through your files and see what music they're looking for a project while you're asleep. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a great platform to get on. And I think I came on really late and didn't include a lot of metadata. So it's kind of like, okay, now I got to go back and fix those things. And so I would say that was probably a challenge for me. And I got started because back in 2017, I was at a studio and I was like, yo, I want to make records for companies and I want to make jingles for TV. I had no idea what sync licensing was, didn't know how to do it. And 2020 took me 3 years because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just messing around trying to get into, somebody's album and somebody's single or whatever. So I didn't really put my time in, but ended up going to some events in 2019 and 2020 is when I got that first placement. So that's how I got my start. Um,
That's a good way to do it, like collaborating, finding other people that are already doing it, and then kind of finding your way into it that way. Like, again,
for sure,
meeting people, establishing those relationships, then you get invited to do things more and more.
for sure.
Um,
That's thanks.
does anyone have an example of how they have found elevation in their careers, their journeys in music, a story or anything they'd like to share, you can come on the screen and share with us, maybe. See if there's any more questions in the chat that we've missed too. Oh, there was actually someone was asking Jared if you could share a sizzle reel example if you have one. Or it could be after the if you want to send one to us or if just explain more about what that is and however you want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, so somebody else might say it's different, but for me, a sizzle reel is something that is 1 minute long. For me, it's 1 minute long, and it's showcasing your strengths, your highlights of what you do. So it's pretty much you flexing and showing somebody what you know how to do and why they should work with you. Is pretty much you're just pretty much letting them know, hey, I have this product or I have this idea. This is what I've done, and this is the results of how I came out. So for me, I've done a sizzle reel on Canva, just to be like, okay, cool. Let me put the placements that I've made on there, the artists that I've worked with before. What did I do? I was a vocalist or I was a producer. And we got on this network. The more stuff that they see that they can relate to, or things that they like, oh, okay, that's a notable name, the more you can create that value within yourself to have them work with you. So it's a digital thing. You can create that by I don't know, any platform that does anything with footage and content, and just chop up and edit things that you've done over time. It can be photos, it can be videos all together. And you just pretty much spruce something up and be like, hey, look, I created this. This is what I've done. This is my digital resume. So yeah, hope that helps.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
also said a good like web page, like a one sheet kind of, or like a just one landing page
Yeah.
for highlights that can be helpful
Yeah,
as well.
for sure. Tatiana. So Disco, you don't have to have the premium membership, but they do have subscriptions. I want to say they start at $15 a month for the Disco, and yeah, you can get it that way. They do have premium, and I think it goes up in price once you do that and get
Yeah,
that
I do
done.
think the discovery tool, like Tatiana's saying, is only in the premium version, I think.
Okay,
It's true. But yeah, there are less expensive options if you want to test out the platform first and see how you like it.
that's facts. Do the trial run first. It's there. I'm gonna put a referral link in there because if you do happen to sign up for Disco, and you do sign up, we get like a $20 or our first month for free. So definitely utilize that. So we both win, not just me and not just you. We both win and get like a month free. So get the trial first though, and do all the running arounds and ask people or Google it and things of that nature. Use YouTube, and then get the subscription. Don't get the subscription first, and then also you want to make sure you get contacts, because if you don't have contacts, who are you gonna send your music to? If you don't have nobody's email, who you gonna send an email to? Who you gonna send your records to? Unless you get the discovery like that, higher tier where you upload the music and then anybody can find it. But that's where metadata comes in at, where you can say, up tempo, funk, hand claps, female vocals, background. Like you can put all of these things that will have them find you earlier. Always include the lyrics too. Always include the lyrics, because those lyrics can be found as well. And then also, if you collaborate it, put your splits. So if it was 4 people, 25, 25, 25, however you like to do it. If it was you by yourself, 100. And yeah, the more you can put, the better off you'll be. I'll say it like that. I can't live without disco. So handy, yeah, for sure. All right.
Hugh Henry was asking how you manage to stay motivated in the business side of music, which is not always as fun as creating, which is true. Can be challenging sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, some of you know me that I've quit music a lot of times. I'm on hiatus until a company is like, "Hey, we got a budget." I'm coming out into my garage and I'm turning on my computer and we get into the money, right? But until then, I haven't been doing music because I want to create for a long time. But I stay motivated because anything that I do and I want to attack, I want to make sure I'm still nervous about it. I never want to get jaded. I never want to be like, I got it figured out. So that's a reason why I do go to different companies and knock door knocking, be like, hey, how you doing? Because I'm always keeping myself on like, what is it that I'm learning? Who can I collab with? And then how can I help? How can I be of assistance? So the business side too is just like I'm scared of the business side, to be honest with you. Like contracts and stuff. What? I do know to stay away from that word in perpetuity if there's somebody who do not want to give all of your rights away forever, because that's what it means. In perpetuity means forever. So certain things you just want to look out for. I am scared when I sign contracts sometimes because I'm just like, man, I don't know what I'm signing. Probably shouldn't do that. But I'm glad y'all hearing it from me because people do things that they probably shouldn't do. Get you a friend that does entertainment attorney stuff, so they can read over it. And like I said earlier, a cheat code is paying for a consultation. So investing in your elevation by getting that one-on-one time and talking to an entertainment attorney, so they can help you. Not a slip and fall attorney, not a lemon law card attorney, somebody who's actually in the music business with music, with sync licensing, TV and film and things of that nature. So yeah, the business side is a little scary, but I mean, if you want to make some money, you got to get to the business, right?
And that's another thing where it's like you kind of just have to do it. You have to put yourself out there in that side of things too, and you learn from your mistakes that way
Yeah.
as well. It's like I feel like every musician I know has like at some point or another gotten into some kind of business thing. They're like, in hindsight, probably shouldn't have done that, but learned my lesson kind of thing. And I think that's a lot of how a lot of us end up learning what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Tatiana, so you said people have found you just by using Discovery tool like randomly. I don't have the premium, so I'm not sure if people randomly have found me on Disco. Um, but honestly, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of executives from going to a lot of online workshops or in-person workshops, and I've been able to get emails and numbers and things of that nature. And I never. And the funny thing is this: y'all probably think I'm crazy, but I go to all these sessions and I go to all these conferences, and I never pitch music. Never have I pitched music, and I've been to at least like 15 or 20 conferences in 2024. Have not pitched music. I have conversations with the people that, like I told you earlier, that look like I should know them, not because I know that they're the, president of this company or, the sync agent at this company. I don't want to know that, to be honest with you. I want to talk to somebody that look like I should know you and I want to create a relationship with you. And people, they're going to ask you, what do you do later on? And me personally, I had that question when you go to an event. Hey, what do you do? It's like, bro, chill. It's like, get to know me. Let's talk. Like, hey, where'd you get that jacket from? Or I love your glasses. Let's start a conversation and be like relatable and be a human and not get straight to the business. Because you might not do anything that I want to do, or I might not do anything that you care about either. So I like to just create an actual just relationship with people. And after that, you end up finding out what they do by just talking. So what is a good example? I don't know. Whatever they're wearing. I like to wear stuff like this, or I wear like a crazy tiger stripe jacket, or I'll put on something that will have somebody come up to me and speak. Because let's realize everybody is not a talkative person. Everybody is not a extrovert. So there are some people that's looking for, how can I start a conversation with this person? I don't know. But if you have something that'll make them start a talking point, that's a good idea and a good introduction into starting a conversation. Over time, you'll find out what they do. But I like to talk about any food places that they found recently, or any places that they traveled to recently, or what's on their next vacation. Some people say vacation, what is that? And we have a great laugh because they're so busy working and they don't go. And then they like, yeah, you know what? Thanks for saying that. I do need to take a break. So have conversations like those where it will open up the door to them saying, you know what, I like you as a person, and let's just connect just because I like you, and then you'll find out what they do later.
It's great. That's a great piece of advice.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. All right. Yes, good to have an attorney for sure. Um,
I was gonna say something to Q Henry's point about the business side of things too, and this applies to other things too, but I've been trying to get into the mindset lately of like one step at a time because I'll do the thing where I like procrastinate and I won't do any of my business to-dos for like weeks and then I have to sit down and like cram it all out at once and then I do this, it's just this terrible cycle. So I've been trying in 2025, my new thing is going to be like consistency and small bits. So like if I can send one email after work, every day,
Mm,
that's better than having to sit down and do like 20 emails at once because then that wears me out and then I don't want to do it again the next day. So
yeah.
like I think just like that, and that's with everything too. I think it can apply to other things as well, like picking up your guitar for like 10 minutes a day and doing that every day rather than like 3 hours in one day. It's probably better to be that have that consistency. So I feel like that could maybe help a little bit with the burnout of the business side, which
Yeah, yeah. Sure.
can happen.
Yeah.
Looks like there's a few things here too.
Okay. Certain amount of copyright if you get a placement over a certain amount. That seems suspicious to me, but the people at 2Indie says that's pretty common. Um, I mean, honestly, it depends on what you want. Tatiana, I see your question about a sync agency taking like 50% of your stuff. That exists. I mean, you can say it sounds suspicious. I've had Grammy winners that got songs with the biggest artists you can think of, and they've literally told me, "Jared, don't ever sell your publishing." I sold my publishing a lot. I gave away a lot of publishing. You have to realize that what's best for them, it might not be what's best for you. That's how I got my start. If I would have been holding on to my publishing, I wouldn't have well, I probably have a couple syncs right now, but I got so many syncs because of those first couple times that I sold my publishing and I got 100% of my writer share and I got royalties and then I got credits. And I sold my publishing, yeah, but that got me in the door to get to a lot of other places where you can include those things in your sizzle reel. Hey, I've worked with this company. I got sync licenses with these networks because they don't have to know you sold your publishing. You know what I mean? Some people need that bread. Everybody's situation is different. You might have kids. You might be the provider at the house. You got to do what you got to do to make it make sense. And later on, you can determine what you want to do and what you want to change. So 50-50, I've heard that before. That's cool. Sometimes it depends on, how far you are into the game. If you've been doing this for a while, it's probably like, yeah, don't do that no more. But if you're new, I personally would say, yeah, do it. If they can find your opportunity, go ahead and give them some of your publishing.
Yeah,
Some
as long
people
as
will say,
you're aware of those splits, right, or the
yeah,
percentages, and you're
yeah,
okay with that, then yeah, and you're not in like a contract that's gonna lock you in for like your life, then
right.
yeah.
It's let it be song based and not you based, not you as an artist based. Because a lot of the times, like in perpetuity means that they own that stuff, um, and you don't get no publishing. But like I said, it's up to you if you want to do it or not. You don't have to. But that's my personal opinion. Is I've got so many things now because of somebody's used my stuff that's in the library that I don't own anymore, but I get writer shares. So it's up to you. I'm getting royalties and residuals off that music that I did. So what do you want to do? It's up to you. Um, you wild Q, business admin paperwork, blah blah blah. Yeah, exactly. Uh, oh, my Santa hat. Oh yeah, that Santa hat. I signed this deal with a publishing company in Germany because I was wearing that Santa hat. Some dude walked up to me. It was like, "Hey man, I like your style, man. What are you wearing that for?" It's October. I'm wearing this Santa hat in October. Dude walks up to me and started like, "Yo, I like your style. Like, what are you doing? Why are you wearing this?" Didn't know this cat, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I own a company. I'm in Germany, and he asked me what do I do. Told him I do hip hop when if I need to for a company. I don't know who I'm talking to at this moment, right? Yeah, it depends. If a company's looking for some stuff, I do hip hop vocals, custom, meaning no loops, no royalty free stuff that anybody else can get. Everything has to be custom. So if you're making music, please make sure all your melodies, all your lyrics are yours that you wrote. Don't take something from somebody else's song to pay homage to them and be like, I want to. credit my people that got me rapping first. Like, nah, do your own lyrics. If you want to pay homage to your people and credit them, do that on a song that's not for sync. Do that on something you just want to put on Spotify just to put it out there because you want to. But yeah, I met this person because I had that Santa hat on, and now I'm working with them. My first company that I'm working with that's overseas. So what is going to be something that you wear, something that you do, something that you say to the next person that might be like, hey, who are you? You know, thank you, Robbie, for the necklace. Yes, indeed. Um, Are there any sync conferences, workshops that you recommend attending? Yes, indeed. So depending on where you are, if you're in LA right now, NAM is going on, which is National Association of Music Merchandisers at the Anaheim Convention Center. It started yesterday and it's going on till Saturday. Um, the next one I would recommend is the Hawaii Songwriting Festival in Hawaii. I think it's 3 days at a hotel. I love 3 day or 4 day things because if you don't talk to that person or get a chance to connect with somebody on that first day, you can do it on the second day. Oh man, I didn't do it on the second day. You got a third day, and if you don't do it on the third day, you playing, you scared, you ain't trying to make that connection. And so it's great because everybody knows each other, and if you don't know each other, that's a great opportunity to meet other people. You get to see them in person. People at the bar, they have open mics and it's just a great place. And then it's Hawaii. Come on, like if you've never been, this is a great reason and a great chance to go out there. So yeah, Chris J, he be going. Chris J be everywhere, yo. Chris J be pulling up at all the, and he in Vegas, not right now, but he lives in Vegas, and he be pulling up to all the joints, and I'll be like, bruh, okay, so that's another one. And then what else? I also recommend PMC, which is short for Production Music Conference. That's another 3 day event, and that's in Los Angeles in Studio City. Also at another hotel. That is more geared towards production libraries, and sync agents are there as well. Lunch is included there at that one. So that's also another one to go to. You want to get some free breakfast and lunch. What? And sometimes they have free happy hour for the first couple of hundred people or something like that, depending on what they're doing that day. But I think that's a great one to be at. Um, I've been there like 2 years in a row. What else?
Janet
Am
mentioned
I missing?
Durango, which is another good one.
Thank you. Durango is coming up in February, actually, and that's in Ventura, California, north of Los Angeles.
Is there another
And
one in Durango, Colorado as well?
well, it's actually in Broomfield, Colorado.
Oh, okay.
It used to be in Durango, and they just kept the same name. They moved it, but they moved it to Broomfield, Colorado. And I went last year and stayed in a hotel and just to check it out. Ended up I wasn't supposed to be a volunteer, but I ended up volunteering.
Okay.
So I'm over there sitting at the table helping people out, and they just like, "Hey, yo, Jared, what's up, bro?" So sometimes you just gotta pop up and show up and help. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna get the best out of that stuff. Like volunteering and being at the places to be is definitely something you should go to. And that's also another conference that it's like 3 days as well at a hotel. So it's all up to you. Those are some things that you might want to check out for references of different conferences that come year round. So those are the ones that I recommend off the top of my head that I love.
Cool.
Other questions?
Anais just dropped a link in the chat if anybody wants to click on that and save it in your toolkit. That's got a list of opportunities to help musicians find funding for their music and just different
Mm,
ideas for that. So that could be helpful if anyone wants to look at that.
okay. You real B, could you share some tips on building out your own artist community and how to keep it active? So, I mean, let's start from a free platform, Zoom, Google Meets, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever there are people. I don't know if you use YouTube or Twitch or Kick or anything like or TikTok, right? That's the crazy word right now. But if you use any of those things and you have any supporters or followers there, what do you have to funnel them somewhere? So I'm glad the TikTok thing happened because it's just like, yo, don't rely on one platform to bring you your, community or bring you your bread. Like, do you have a website? So anything goes down with like Instagram or YouTube, is there somewhere that people can come and find you and still be able to have access to you? Do you have something that grants you data from your, supporters so you can send out emails, blasts, updates, when you're performing, merch that's dropping, things of that nature. So I would just look into that and say, hey, what platforms are you using? And are you doing like, for me personally, I want to start doing like a monthly, like, hey, we all checking in. I don't care if you do music or not. What are you doing? Let's talk. Let's see how we can exchange resources in the community. I might need some help trying to learn CPR or something like that. I need a nurse in my, in my community or whatever, right? So it's like putting things together that you want to do. There's always a way to figure it out. But that would just be my starting point is to just be like, okay, cool. Where are your people at? Let's start um, electronically because you don't have to come outside. You ain't got to get dressed. And if you do want to get dressed, do a monthly meetup at Dave and Buster's or a movie theater or bowling alley or an ice cream shop. Or if you don't drink, if you don't eat ice cream, go to a coffee shop or something. You know what I mean? Like figure out what do you want to do. Everybody's not going to show up. Everybody's not going to pull up. So understand that as well. Even if they say they're going to be there, make room for people not showing up and still do it anyways. Because if you keep doing it and being consistent, you're going to grow. It's going to take some time, but people will see the growth and they'll want to help and try to see, hey man, I like what you're doing. I want to help you. I got a venue over here at that I'm not using. Can you come on Thursday nights? What? Like these things are real. Like I'm not just making that up. That's the actual thing. So yeah, I'm not gonna get into that story, but somebody lent me like their whole compound, 3 floors, studio, large, Dolby Atmos, an open room with just it's crazy. They was like, yo, whatever you want to do, just let me know. Whatever. So what else? What else? Ain't going out soon. Oh, songwriting festival was great. Yeah. Anybody else? Any questions? Anything that you want clarity on that I said? I don't know where everybody is in their journey and their level. So it's just like if you have any questions or any like terms that I might have used and you don't know what the heck I said, feel free to ask. You might have somebody else learn from you asking that question.
Definitely.
Keep doing it. It will grow.
We,
Today's
speaking of terms, also, we've started linking in the emails that go out about these workshops every week. So if you sign up for a workshop, you get sent an email, 2 emails actually, leading up to that workshop that week. And in the first email that's sent out, we've got a link to a little worksheet we made, like a toolkit of industry terms, specifically sync licensing. On that side of things. So if anyone is still a little unsure about like what is metadata, what can disco help with, those kinds of things, we've got a few things listed on there. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. And then cool. Oh yeah, and I
Just link it in the chat. Yeah.
yeah, thank you. Um, and then also, yeah, just to remind everybody that um we're doing a new structure to our workshops starting this year. So obviously this is one of the new themes that we're bringing in at community conversations as one of our workshops each month. We also have music industry insights, which is similar to what we've been doing the past few years, where we have mentors on to speak more about the business side of things. And then we are going to start implementing the college edition workshop, where we're going to have college students coming on and speaking about what they're working on, and leading workshops as well, in the music industry, obviously. And then community listening sessions, which we're going to have one next week on Wednesday. That's where you can actually submit a song that you're working on. It can be any stage of the song, it could be a demo, work tape, anything like that. And we'll listen to as many of them as we can during the workshop and give feedback and have conversations about the songs. So if you want to come to that next week, feel free to join us, and we'll send out a submission link via email leading up to that workshop next week. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Anything I missed, Annie? Oh,
I just linked the workshop replay to Jared's last workshop he hosted in September of 2023. Jared, yeah, for those that don't know, Jared has been with us and has hosted a workshop with us in the past. All of our replays for our sessions are available on our website for free. So if there are any other workshop sessions that maybe you may have missed in the past and you want to access, they're on our website, completely free for viewing, always available for you. And I linked Jared's session in the chat as well in case you want to take a look at that. He dives a little bit more into like the sync licensing of it all.
great. And there's
Thank
also
you.
a search bar at the top of that, our replay page, because there's a lot of things in there now. So if you have like, you can just put a trigger word in there if you're looking for something specific, like disco, for instance, just type that in. It should pop up with all of our past sessions about that. Yeah, but thank you again, Jared. This was so fun having our first session with the community like this. So
Great.
really
I
excited.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in and asking
Yeah.
questions in the chat. Um, and yeah, just thankful. And I love what y'all are doing because I see the trajectory going up. Like, from last year and the year before that, it's kind of like things are changing. Things are getting more like, narrowed down and focused in and been better and stuff like that. And that's how things work. We figure, oh, I want to start this. But then, you know, you take those things and you consolidate it and get better at what you're doing. And I see the growth. So yeah, cheers to that for sure.
Thank you. And thank you for always being with Pandion. Yeah.
Hey, I'm thankful to be independent. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
I do what I want.
It's a big benefit in many ways.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
So,
thank you everyone for being here, taking the time out of your day to join us. And this is helping us build our community. So thank you. And you're always welcome to join us and be here and engage with this community. So thank you for
Yeah.
participating.
Hopefully we see you all next week for our listening session.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Have a good day, everyone. Have
Bye,
fun.
everyone.
I'm Jared.
all right, thank you.
See ya.